Well, to start off, my name is Gay P. I started On the Radar back in 2018 as a music platform to serve upcoming artists. And just because the reason why I started was because at the time, it was like the beginning of like the SoundCloud era. So like Little Uzi, XXX, Juice World. And at that time, people or my peers who were older than me weren't really respecting the artists that were coming up that were my age and part of my generation. So I wanted to create a platform that artists could come to, show off their talent, perform, do interviews, and they wouldn't feel like they were being disrespected or treated any differently than, how they would want to be treated. And from that, it exploded into not just like a platform for upcoming artists, but artists from all around the world. We've been to Brazil. We're currently in the middle of our first like Latin series and putting out all Puerto Rican artists for a month straight. We went to the UK, and then we have artists flying in to do On the Radar from all over the world, from Korea, from China, from Australia, Germany, France, Spain, Italy, Jamaica, all across the Caribbean, all across South America. It's really become a global music platform, which is kind of like my favorite part of this job, is being able to expose, our followers and our fans to other cultures, but also give all these other cultures a platform to be seen and be heard too. And yeah, with that being said, I'll let my team go around. I'll let them all introduce themselves, the things that they do, and yeah, we'll go from there.
Hi, everyone. How you guys doing today? Good. So my name is Toby, and I'm the Director of Partnership at On the Radar. And essentially what that means is I put together campaigns to do stuff like this with you guys. So On the Radar, you might know us. We do freestyles and we do performances, but there's a lot of different components that we do, and we partner with brands to sort of amplify what we have going on. So essentially my job is to find different companies that want to partner with On the Radar to do really cool stuff. Over the years, we had the opportunity to work with PUMA, BT, Stars, Modelo, Wingstop. We have gone to, like Gabe said, Brazil, London, Puerto Rico, a bunch of upcoming campaigns as well. But we just try to do different cool things in media. And I think for myself, I created essentially this role at the company because I was a journalist when I first got started. And if you get into media, you're going to learn very soon that there's so many different positions that you guys could do. Like, you might just think, hey, everyone wants to be an artist or everybody wants to, make music, but there's so many different jobs behind the scenes. Myself in partnership, JV, who does like engineering and production, Shania, who does booking, Fritz, who makes beats, he's a producer. There's so many different roles. And the only way for you to essentially know about these roles is to just be in the right rooms, do internships, ask questions, and, just make yourself present. So I'm very excited to be here with you guys today and just to share a little more about each of our journey.
Bye. How y'all feeling? Feeling good? Okay. So I'm JV. I wear, a couple of hats with On the Radar. Shout out to, the biggest platform in the game right now. Give it, what's up? Shout out to On the Radar, man. You know what I'm saying? But just to name some of my roles, on the label side, we have a record label, On the Radar Records. So I'm the A&R admin. So logistically, essentially, I handle all the logistics that we do with as far as putting out songs on streaming platforms, right? So all the artists that we have come up to the platform, we release those songs on DSPs, right? So I handle all of that on the logistics side. But also, I executive produce the producer series that we had. I know it was a couple producers that was making beats in the back, so shout out to all the producers, but, On the Radar, yeah, for sure. Shout out to the producers. Again, we're really renowned for the artists that we bring to the platform, but, this series actually shines a light on all the producers as well to give them a spotlight as well. So shout out to myself, Gabe, and Fritz for putting that together, just to give a spotlight on the producers. But yeah, it's a little bit about myself.
Hi, everyone. Hi. Okay, so my name is Shania. I'm the Director of Bookings at On the Radar. So basically, I just schedule everyone who comes on the platform. A little more than that, I also take part in a lot of our events that we do, such as this one right here. But I actually started as an intern, so I'm currently in college. I graduate in 2 weeks. Thank you. So yeah, I started as an intern, and I was an intern for it was a summer internship, so like 2 months, maybe 3. And then I was Gabe's personal assistant, and I was an assistant for a year. And I have been in this role for about a year now, so it's been a little minute. But yeah, I just schedule everybody. I schedule all our releases, and I coordinate with all the management. I'm also like an A&R. We all are like an A&R here. So, yeah.
How's everybody feeling today? Good, good. So my name is Fritz. I'm a in-house producer for On The Radar. So I deal a lot with like the projects and work with like upcoming artists and also major artists as well. So I've worked with like artists such as Pop Smoke, Fabio, and I did like work for BT, and I do like the projects as well, the EP, yeah, Mafia-thon and stuff. And with me and JV, we do like the beat breakdowns. So that's kind of like my role.
So yeah, as you can see, the team like is really comprised of like 10 to 15 people. Everybody wears a different hat, but I think the one important thing that Shah said is that like everybody's an A&R on the team, and that's kind of like the most beautiful part about it, because we all have like very, very, very different music tastes. Like we'll have A&Rs who primarily handle the Latin side, A&Rs who primarily handle like Caribbean music, A&Rs who primarily handle European or Asian music or rock, and that's why we've been able to grow so much outside of just being like a one-trick pony of like a freestyle platform, because we brought on so many other people on the team who have different interests that we've been able to touch audiences from around the planet. So that's kind of been like my favorite part of this whole journey. But now I guess we'll open it up to questions for you guys. Does anybody have any questions for us?
My question is like, what does it take to get like on the radar? Like, what does it take?
I think that's like a very like nuanced question, because there's no real simple answer to that. Because like I said, we all are A&Rs in our own right, so we all like our own things, and that's why you see so many different types of music on the platform. We do look for the artists to have some type of buzz or some type of motion, you know what I'm saying? In rap, we just also want people to be like, if they're like a boom bap rapper, we just like people who rap really well. But there is no like one particular answer. But we do like to have an audience. Like I have had people who have come to me that I've met like early on in their careers, trying to think like Avante the singer or someone like that, who I said no to at first because I felt like it wasn't his time. And then he grew, got bigger, and he came on the show. And then he was like, I'm glad you told me no, because I wasn't ready then, but I was ready now. So it is like a nuanced question of like how to get on OTR, but really how to get on OTR is just get spotted by one of us. Because like we do have an email that a general email where all the submissions go through, and we try to go through that, but you can imagine how many emails are coming in there all day long. But really the 15 of us that work at OTR, we have like a Slack channel, which is like, y'all know what Discord is, right? So it's like corporate Discord. And basically in that Slack channel, we just kind of throw in artists all day long that we're messing with from around the world, that we're like, oh, do we want to do this? Do we want to do this? Do we want to do this? And if we're like, okay, let's do this, that's how it works. So there's no answer. Like someone, like I think homie right here, he's a manager, right? He came out to me. He's like, oh, how do I get my YouTube, right? The artist, yeah. They're like, how do I get my artist on OTR? I said, send me the music. I'll check it out. And if we think it's the right fit for it right now, we'll let you know. And if not, we never say no to the future. You know what I'm saying? Because we want everybody to be able to have like an opportunity if it makes sense for them. So yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say, to add on to that, we have a weekly live stream where, myself and Fritz and Gabe, he also does his live streams as well, and the rest of the team, we literally sit there and review people's music that they submit every Sunday. So every Sunday you have a chance and an opportunity for the whole team to actually listen to the music. So OTR is live.com. Every Sunday, there's a chance to be in front of the team. So I always recommend artists to, tap in like every weekend. We literally have loyal supporters who literally tap in every single weekend. And that's the best way, honestly, in my opinion, right now, to really get in front of the team. OTR is live.com for y'all too. Yep.
Yeah. It is a little hard because, like I said, we are such like a global platform now that it's like we get bombarded with emails in like a million different languages from every country. And obviously we get bombarded by emails from people here in America. So it's like we try to go through them and try to see who we like and who we don't like. But we do our best. So it's kind of funny because like when we talk about like hiring people to work at OTR, a lot of it has kind of it's never been like, when you think of getting a job, you think of like, oh, I'm going to go in for an interview. They're going to interview me. If they like me, they're going to hire me. But OTR is like a little different because everybody who's ever kind of like been a part of my team, they just kind of showed up one day and like they never left. That don't mean pull up on us, by the way. But it just means like for example, JV was known by John, who started bringing me like boom bap rappers like 4 years ago when we were at the height of the drill music, and I was like, I want to pivot and do other things too and not just be known as this one thing. He was bringing me boom bap artists, and then he brought JV because they went to the same school. Toby came around because Toby was working with my big sis at the time, and Toby came and brought, I think, like Boston Richie before he blew up. and she was like, we were just in the process of getting our brand new studio, and she asked me, she's like, hey, can I like do your scheduling? Can I like basically do what Shania does now? And I was like, yeah, of course, like let's do it, because you brought me somebody who went super viral. Like obviously you got a good head on your shoulders, you great work ethic. Let's figure it out. And then she eventually matured into her position of now doing all the partnerships and setting something like this up for you guys. And then Sha was recommended to me by a good artist friend, and so she came on board as my intern because I trusted him and I knew that he would only bring me like quality people. And then Fritz also came because of John. Fritz just kind of showed up one day and didn't leave either. And even now we got people on our team. We got Max, who's not here, but he's one of our engineers in our recording studio, and he kind of just also popped in one day, and we haven't gotten rid of him. So we could definitely talk, and you could talk with the boys and kind of see like, what you're good at, what talents you have, and if there's any possibilities for an internship down the line. But yeah, we're always looking for people to possibly join the team, especially on some internship tip, because we always need more hands. We have 3 studios now, so we need help. So hope that answered your question.
Honestly, personally, I always had probably like 2-3 jobs at one time. I'm not gonna lie. That's just how I motivate. Like that motivates me to keep going in a sense. College. Okay, so I go to a CUNY, right? Baruch. It's kind of simple there. It's not like I ever felt overwhelmed or anything with my work. So working at OTR, it was really, really flexible. Like my work right now is online. It's emails. I don't really have to be there. But I think just being in that mindset already of having multiple jobs at one time. Like at first, I was working at OTR, Foot Locker, and in school. And I was working at my family's bar that we own. So low-key, I had 4 jobs at one time. But I don't know. It's like as long as you keep your mind stable and you have like a good relationship with your bosses and you let them know like you're flexible, but like you need some time, I feel like it works that way. I hope I answered your question.
I know you guys are like 16, 17, 18, 15. During the pandemic 6 years ago, artists, when TikTok first kind of blew up, artists were really just going viral off anything, right? And they were getting signed because it was just such a crazy time that labels didn't know what to do. So they would just sign like any artist that would go viral. Now, viral dances and whatnot, but now TikTok is definitely a little different. I do think like the cool thing now between like TikTok, YouTube Shorts, and Instagram is just the algorithm and the way that we're able to discover artists. Because I think even now the way that I discover artists, I don't necessarily go out like looking for people. Some of our algorithms are just kind of catered to new music. So when I'm even scrolling, like I'll get artists that maybe have like 300-400 followers, but then I'll get maybe artists who are bigger. I'll get artists who are in different languages. I will say TikTok is definitely like the main one that I feel like a lot of artists should focus on. But that's not to say that you shouldn't be posting on everything, because I think 2 platforms that the younger generation definitely sleeps on in terms of like putting out content on is Facebook and Snapchat. Obviously you guys use Snapchat to communicate, whatever, but Snapchat is like a really good like discovery platform for content. And even with our Facebook, like once we started kind of consistently posting to our Facebook, we realized that there were certain things that would go viral on Facebook versus other platforms. I think that's all something to note is like your music may not hit on like Instagram, but it might hit on Facebook, or it might not hit on TikTok, but it might hit on Instagram. Like it really, I always tell artists that they should be at least posting to everything, even YouTube Shorts, because every platform has like a different audience and a different age demo that is like kind of like their primary consumer. So it's just about finding which one works for you and then targeting that and then letting that be the platform that you focus on the most, but still post to all the other ones too, because you still want to have the content out there for like other people too.
For me, it's just like I just kind of like making like whatever, to be honest. So I don't really like go for like seasonal wise. But you make beats, right? Alright, so try to like, if you're making a beat, just try to like make all style of beats, I would say.
I think the biggest thing when it comes to production is really dialing in on what sound you're trying to curate. Obviously, New York, a lot of, the drill sound came out of New York. A lot of producers. We hit, like, honestly, the beats that y'all was playing me earlier today, I'm not sure who the producer was, but it was a different type of bounce. And I was telling Fritz that sound, right, is something different that I really haven't heard, especially as far as y'all rapping on it, like those types of beats. So you really want to dial in on like the sound that you're going for, not necessarily like the time of the year, right? And once you curate an actual sound, right, that's how you stand out and separate yourself from, the rest of the pack.
I try to relax. New copy got put in my cash. Make some noise for my family real quick.
First of all, thank you guys for doing this. I appreciate y'all. And the craziest thing about this whole experience is that when I first met y'all, y'all were the same age as a lot of the people in this room, right? So I guess my first question to y'all, and I'll pass the mic around. When y'all were in high school, when y'all were their age, right? What was like the real first thing that got y'all wanted to pursue music?
I was in a room just like this. I used to play instruments. I used to play trumpet. Feel me? I wasn't a bad though. This the rival right here. You hear me? I was playing trumpet, piano, and I'm like, yo, man, let's rap. Let's see how that go. And we got the grace of God.
For me, at the end of the day, my father always told me, if it's anything, chase your passion. And that's what it was. I was chasing my passion my whole life. When I was in high school, all I wanted to do was music for me. So as soon as I graduated, I made sure I pursued my passion, and now I'm here.
Love that. So, when you guys, right, over the past like 4 years now since you guys blew up and, bent a couple gold records, you know what I'm saying, coming out with Travis Scott, what do you feel like these last couple years has been that moment for you that you're like, wow, we really made it?
Honestly, it's been a lot of moments where I feel like we made it, but I'm a little different for me. Like, I'm not gonna ever get comfortable. For me, like, you could already be at the top, but if it's one thing, don't ever get comfortable, and that's what I'm never gonna do. For me, we're always gonna keep going. For me, so I feel like I ain't make it yet. I feel like I got a long way to go, but that's just me.
And a lot. It's like we see a lot more for ourselves. So shout out Travis Scott, shout out everybody that brought us out. But we got a lot more to accomplish, like you said, for me. So we don't really feel like we made it. Yeah, we got a long way to go for real.
Oh, y'all feel like y'all made it?
I ain't gonna lie. I don't know when I die. Go from there.
Well, obviously you got a room full of kids that look up to you, right? And kids that want to do music, kids that want to be producers or work in entertainment, right? What is thinking about all that y'all been through these last couple of years, what would be like the best pieces of advice that you would give to them? You know what I'm saying?
Like I said, follow your passion. For me, you can do anything that you want to do. For me, if you put your mind to it, it's definitely possible. For me, just believe in yourself, stay true to yourself. For me, you're gonna be good.
I see a whole lot of different faces. Everybody is an individual. For me, everybody in here, be yourself, stay true to yourself. You're gonna make it a long way no matter what path you go. I ain't gonna lie.
Everybody in here got a talent too. For me, you just gotta see it in yourself. For me, the only person stopping you is you. Remember that.
My proudest moment is probably definitely like award shows like the BET Awards. It's just a real feeling being around just people that you look up to or have inspired you. Being on the red carpet is always a different feeling. That's what I feel like. I ain't gonna lie. This wasn't all for nothing.
Every single time I come and I speak to a whole bunch of kids just like me, I get motivated. For me, that's what keeps me going. That's my motivation every single day. For me, that's what makes me feel like I made it. Speaking of y'all.
I ain't gonna lie. I'll just be on my phone all day. I'll just be looking for new shit to do, new things to do. And I think of ideas, going to the studio. Me being a rapper, just going to the studio and perfecting your craft. That's the best way you could, for me, go further in life. So I say for me, it's just like going to the studio and all that.
Now, for me, I'm a rapper, so I go to the stool every single day. I treat the stool like it's the gym. I got a model mentality. Last one in there, last one out there, first one in there. For me, I'm in the stool every single day, and I feel like I get better every single time I lead the stool. For me, so that's what I do. I perfect my craft. And all y'all got a talent. It don't even gotta be rapping. It don't gotta be music. It could be art, fashion. There's a whole lot of stuff you could do. Just lock in, be consistent with yourself. For me, you're gonna see results. Personally, me, I've been rapping since middle school, man. Like, I was just in these same shoes, or bro. I used to go to the auditorium and that perform for my school. I was doing the same exact stuff, you feel me? So I've been doing this for a long time, I ain't gonna lie. I just blew up probably like 2021, you feel me? But a lot of people not gonna see all the hard work that came before that. They just see the success story, but for me, yeah.
No, he basically said, I wasn't really rapping too much. Like I said, I was playing instruments. You know, quarantine came, locked in with my brother. You know what I'm trying to say? We got some hits in there, here and there. The key is consistency, though. It's not just, you know, dropping a song, going to shoot it on the block or whatever. And you gotta be consistent, and you gotta, like, put out stuff that people can drive themselves to. You can't just be putting out, you know, anything. You wanna be an artist? I said, oh, okay, I ain't gonna lie, you got the look. Yeah. Yeah, okay, my boy's gonna be big, remember him?
Wait, hold on. It's also deeper than like dropping the music. You gotta put the work behind the music. It's a whole lot of groundwork that you gotta do outside of the music stuff that you gotta do too. It's not just about going on the stool and dropping music, man. Like you really gotta put the work in if you wanna see results. And that's with anything, not just with music. That's life.
What are some ways I can me and my mates can extend ourselves as upcoming artists?
Y'all artists too. What's your name? J Money, what's your name? I don't believe y'all, man. I gotta really like, for me, like, gangsta. What's your name again? What's your name, buddy?
Bro in the back. Right now. I'm like, why am I moving right here?
Oh, what if I'm not seeing this and I'm like, yo, more sometimes it's like,
Word of my dad, I heard this.
I ain't gonna lie. This is exactly what I'm talking about. They posting it, being consistent. That popped up on my page. And I'm like, yo, I sent it to the chat. I'm like, yo, who them? And like, And I like it cause y'all not promoting the violence. Y'all not, for me, y'all having fun with it. And that's the same way we came into this. You know what I'm trying to say? I ain't gonna lie, keep doing what y'all doing. Just keep doing exactly what y'all doing. That's the answer to that question. Cause I saw that on my Instagram. I sent it. I'm like, yo, hold on. I ain't gonna lie, yeah.
Are you recording? Alright, if you ask me, I say bet. Because of the energy, like the energy was different. Like we was really having fun when we made that song. A different experience.
I say Ben too. I ain't gonna lie. Ben, we was dancing to the beat for like 30 minutes before we wrapped up Ben. I ain't gonna lie, definitely Ben.
Your artist?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, yeah.
Exactly. Come on.
Hold on. They got the good sample.
Like, body, yes, she wanna drink. Me and this pocket, what you want, anything you can think. She wanna trigger, won't consider they can fuck her. And she better treat it like I'm somebody, and I ain't talking tank. Like, body, so you know it's shot a clock. She can take it to the music, she gon' take it, that she talk. When you riding on that through the snow, she gon' stop it. When you step up in the spot, then you better fuck it for now. Come on, arch your back in the position, let me see you back. Me get it hoodie in the slot, I'm tryna see you flash. We up to 1942, and she go up the circuit. If you say you want me, put this gun up in your fucking face.
Like the type they eat it quick, they keep that. Get your shit loud, send the shit down. Like the type they eat it quick, they keep that. Beat the shit, get your shit loud, send the shit, bitch.
Wait, it's over? Yeah, wait, who the girl? Okay. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, that's what I'm saying. Y'all online, that's what's going right now. Yeah, for a fact. I like how your brother is your manager. I like that, I ain't gonna lie.
Make some noise to the boys up from here real quick.